They say don't come around here with your bling on. It could get ugly for a nigga like Klingons. Fuck you and your flag, I use that bitch to pee on. Type of shit we pee on, and niggas that's peons. Used to roll blunts with my cousin from 6th straight. Used to shoot crap and sell crack like every day. Bottles of Hennessy looking out for my enemies. Never found Jesus, guess he wasn't a friend of me. Men lie, women lie, you know the rest. Money on my mind, on my grind, I'm puffing less. Hanging out with Warren, we on Douglas and Sawyer. He told me never trust a bitch and never lie to your lawyer. Said the red bone bitches are spoiled. The dark ones is royal, the white ones will spoil you, but ain't none of them loyal, Lord. I never heard more truth in a sentence, and still I tried fucking them all. Can you forgive me? Lord, forgive me for my brash delivery, but I remember vividly what these streets did to me. More nights stealing, less nights chilling. The more shots they hold, the better they feel it. Yeah, Lord, forgive me for my brash delivery, but I remember vividly what these streets did to me. More nights stealing, less nights chilling. The more shots they hold, the better they feel it. Yeah, Father, forgive me, but I'm talking my blood pops. I cannot forgive you for your life, it's a blood clot. Half a century still stuck on that needle. This is why I lie and tell the world I don't need you. Shit, I overcame my addiction to weed, bro. It's obvious you love dope more than me, though. 86 Regal creeping up, that's my cousin Nate. Kevin got an 87 Cuddy, so we celebrate. Jody got a Corvette, he took it off a customer. European face on that Chevy, cause I'm a hustler. Headed to the lake, summertime, that's all I know. Swerving a Suburban, curb it, then desert it. Flirting with this virgin nurse from West Suburban. She said she loved Durban, served me after her shift. It's lit, like the Sunday service. Sins of a father, now I'm addicted. Forgive me for my brash delivery, but I remember vividly what these streets did to me. More nights stealing, less nights chilling. The more shots they hold, the better they feel it. Yeah.
Come on inside and get yourself something cool to drink.
Hey, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Welcome back to another edition of Flipping Tables. I am your host. Lost in Translation podcast. Tonight is going to be a little something different. Tonight, we're going to turn it over to the one and only Mr. Jeff in the building. Yes, indeed. Wow. And we're going to turn it over to the one and only Mr. Beans. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And also, we got our co-host and our special guest, Miss Jenny in the building. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. What's going on, Beans?
All right, what's going on,
Jeff?
Hey, man. Yeah. I'm
gonna turn it over to y'all, man. I'm gonna let y'all drive this thing, man.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna begin and end with first I'm gonna say thank y'all for having me. I'm really honored to do this. But I want to begin and end any podcast that I'm on with Beans by asking the audience and all of y'all to dog this nigga till he give me my music. I am tired of rocking to that funky like your grandpa feet intro.
Man,
that damn thing slaps, nigga.
Don't slam.
My car is clean. I just got a fade, and that's the song I'm rolling up on slow. You know how you pick your song to roll up slow?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Baby blue 77 Cadillac Seville with a royal blue interior on Vogues and Trues. Just ease up. Oh, yeah. What's happening? And just pull it out. Yeah. Yeah. That song is hot. And you won't let me give it to people to bless you. So I need everybody here in the chat. I'm going to cut this up. As a matter of fact, with your permission, Beans, I'm going to cut this clip up and put that track under it. So that I can dog you publicly for not giving me this shit, bro. What are you doing?
This is unnecessary.
Yes, sir. Oh, no, I think it is, sir. I think I will be the first positive troll in history. Yes.
Listen, guys, if you enjoyed the show, make sure y'all hit the Cash App. You know what I'm saying? Everything is possible. We always want to make sure you guys get an opportunity to thank Black Man Unfiltered and put this thing to work, because everything we take, we put it right back in the show to give you the best show that you can get. Beans, what's going on, man? How you doing, brother?
I'm all right, man. Just, I ain't gonna lie, I'm sleepy because I ate. After you get into a certain age, when you're young, you eat, it give you energy.
Yeah.
You get to a certain age, you eat and it make you want to go to sleep. So You know,
Yes,
I was
indeed.
playing dominoes and spades and watching battle rap and all kind of stuff, trying to make sure that I stayed woke so I could be here, you know. And so I'm glad to be here.
Okay, good. Miss Jenny, how you doing, darling? I want to leave you out.
I'm great. I'm feeling good. I just came back in from a walk, so I'm pumped up and ready to get into this topic.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, tonight, Beans and Jeff are gonna be driving tonight, and they're gonna be taking us on a journey, man. So we're gonna let them get us going and take us where they're gonna take us, man. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a dope show.
For sure. Okay.
So, Jeff, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Oh, okay. Tonight's topic: Black men. You're just not good enough. Now, I'll say this, and then we can springboard from here. I'm going to guess that this topic comes from the media's opinion as we see it, our women's opinion of us as we see it, especially from the you are never home because you work, or you ain't got a job, so you're at home all the time. Why don't you work? From I educated myself. I'm a nerd. I got it from the street. I'm a thug. And it begins to bring into picture this imaginary man that a lot of times sisters put in their heads, that they want this straight-laced, nerdy, dope kingpin that's good with pets. And we feel as though we are not being seen as worthy from our flawed state. I think that's how we get here. What say you, anybody?
Indeed. Welcome to the show, Coach Ferg.
Hey!
I know you're there getting your munch on, man. What's happening, brother?
How y'all doing, man? Can y'all hear me pretty good?
Yeah, we got you, man. How you doing?
Salute to y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Just happy to be up here. What's up, Miss Jenny? How you doing? Since you are the prettiest one on the panel. Thank you.
I'm glad you feel that way. I mean, me too. You hard-led bastards. I would much rather not look at you, but yeah. I'm glad you, yes. I'm glad you feel it.
I think based upon the information, and I think everybody has their view of what somebody should be and where they should be. But my thing is this, man: if you ain't walked a mile in the man's shoes, you can't calculate and add up what's really going on upstairs, man. Everybody has their own talent based upon what they've been through, their skill set, you know what I mean, that type of thing. So to take all men and say you should be here, you know what I mean, is a little bit disingenuous, because if you do that and you ask the other way around, they'll say that, you know, all of us are not a monolith. You know what I mean? So which one is it?
Well, yeah. I've been watching a few videos and podcasts and stuff lately, the last couple of days. And I've been having like these mixed feelings, because on one hand, I have to appreciate the fact that we have more women being honest about how they think and feel about us as Black men, as a demographic, and relationships, right? But on the other hand, it's messed up that so many women think this way. And what it all boils down to is basically, from the title of the show, that we're just continuously being told that we're not good enough. I saw a video today that was really hard for me to watch, because the dude was talking about his relationship with his mother. And like he just gave this one scenario where his mom had kicked him out the house, and like he was asleep, she woke him up. You forgot to wash the dishes. He washed the dishes. You know, you forgot to take out the trash. Oh, you forgot to wash this other dish. She kept letting him go to lay down and then wake him back up. And then the final time, she just told him to get out. And when he got out, he said he went
and drove and parked in a decent space and just slept in his car. And then he met up with his father when his father got off work, thinking that his father was going to be like, okay, let me go holler at your mom and see what's going on. And he said, his father said, man, look, at some point we were going to be empty nesters anyway. So whatever she say, I'm riding with it. Right. So he imagine your mama was telling you, you ain't good enough. And then you go out into the world and the very women you're trying to build with and love on and all this other stuff with are also telling you that you're not good enough. It's very disheartening, you know. And I had this sort of viral moment recently because I told my son not to date black women, or black girls rather, when he was like 14 years old. And
Hold on, B. I think he got froze, brother.
Yeah, he froze up. Well, oh shit! Look who fell in here. Dr. R. Payne. What's happening?
R. Payne, welcome to the show, brother.
my internet was messing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're back now. You're back now.
Go back to right where the dude's father told him, you gotta we gotta ride with what she said. Like, start there.
Okay. Damn, I said a lot after that.
That's crazy. You were talking about your son though, with that not dating
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, your son.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I was like, thank God.
My bad. Yeah, this shit's good. This shit's good.
Yeah, but just, you know, that whole the thing that came from that is that it proved that they didn't want to have the conversation about the experience that would have even led me, the information, right? That would have even led me to give my son that kind of you know, information, or that kind of request, right? Don't deal with these girls because it can be problematic for you. And that's what I'm saying. It's like from both sides of the table, whether it's from the parental side or whether it's from the relationship side of the game, there's this consistency and notion that you aren't good enough. You aren't tall enough. You don't have enough money. You don't have the right complexion. You know, it's very disheartening to say the least. But let's go ahead. Coach Ferg was here first. Let's get Coach Ferg again, because I want to save Jenny for last, because I think from the woman's perspective, it's going to be very interesting to see what she has to say. So let's go Coach Ferg, then R. Payne, and then we'll jump right to Jenny and give her the floor.
You're on mute, Coach Ferg.
You muted, Ferg.
My sound good now?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, you want me to respond to what you said in reference?
Not necessarily,
to
just the topic of the show about, you know, black men, you're not good enough, things like that.
Okay, I would say most of my life, that's the message that was given to me. And it wasn't just from, you know, a black woman's perspective. You know, it came from the world. And I sort of owned that for myself. And like, you know, I grew up in a house with 6 women. I have 5 sisters, some older sisters, some younger sisters. And my father was the craziest guy I knew, you know, but he was much respected in the community because he taught me how to work hard, be respectful to people. My mother talked to me about girls, and I had sisters. I saw dudes come over with flowers, and I was a kid. You know, wasn't nobody disrespectful. I saw my younger sisters be buck wild, totally different. You know, so I just sort of stayed away from the women that moved like my younger sisters, and sort of owned and understood, you know, women that like my older sisters, because the guys respected them. So I tried to model those. But I learned early, you know, when it comes to women, especially women that I like, because, you know, I love sisters, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't never tried to date nothing but a sister, light skin, dark skin. The whole rainbow is my buffet. Not everybody like me. I'm too light skinned for some. I'm too short for some. I always had a little muscle on me. I was always playing sports. Some like me because of my personality. But if she told me she didn't like me immediately, I sort of dismissed it. But I also understood growing up, you know, in the 60s, 70s and 80s, hell, me and my friends would talk about how ugly we are. So we sort of hardened each other's shell with that. And then when it came to women, if I was doing something, if I was talking crazy, you know, talking about she's doing this and she's putting pressure on me, guys that were sort of my age and circle, we would talk each other off the ledge. We would either say, man, leave her ass alone, or man, think about what you're doing. Maybe try this first, because we'll try to be solutions first. And then if that don't work, we don't went through a whole season. We next summer, you still having these problems. At some point, man will be like, man, you got to be responsible for you and move on. Or, you know, brothers didn't sit around crying about it. But today, I mean, it's a different time, man. Both of y'all grew up in the same sort of chaos. And it's unfortunate because it brings, I think, you know, you're a good spirited brother and you're just coming to that elevation age, which is right on time. But your destiny can be far beyond just American women. You can see the world right now because you opening up that whole worldly mind, and this you straight. You got talent. You know what I'm saying? You done did some bullshit, but you still owning it. So you good, man. You right there, man.
No doubt.
You're on mute, Jeff.
Thank you, guys. To co-sign what you just said, for I'm not through poking beans in the chest. You said your question was about purpose. Other week you had one and what it is. Well, I'm gonna be arrogant enough to tell you that I believe that your purpose is to reach a group of brothers that none of us can reach. There's a group of brothers that will hear the same thing from you, from us. It sounds like preaching from us. You have more credibility with them, and you're not stupid. You're developing your wisdom, and that's not a coincidence. Somebody gonna have to be the wise man in 2058. It's gonna be you.
It might be you.
Not talking to dudes. He gonna be talking to dudes we prefer. We got to try to give it to Beans what we can that he'll take, and then he got to give it down because it's a bunch of dudes. It's young dudes that listen to me, and then it's other ones. I'm just an old ass nigga. Well, okay, go fuck your mom's dog. Is what I say to those dudes. I don't concern myself with that. But they still need talking to. They go to your class. I believe that's your purpose. So give me the damn music and stop fucking around. All right. So how does anybody feel about the media and what they do to play into the black men are not enough narrative? Where have you seen it? Just example.
Before you go into that, let me get my little soliloquy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
I appreciate that. But listen, welcome to everybody tonight. Hey, Miss Jenny, it's always great to see you. You know what I'm saying? Blessings. Anyway, listen, one of the things I think YouTube has done for me is give me a chance to reflect, you know, through all the decades that I've been alive and talking to a lot of people. Usually I'm the oldest guy on the thing. And, you know, one of the things I'm thinking in reflection that I've always had a decent understanding of where I fit in the pecking order. You know, some people, you know, I never really had to be at the top of the pecking order. I just had to have the value that that was necessary for me just to be a part of the team. Sometimes I was in charge, sometimes I wasn't. And, you know, looking at the title of Black Men Not Enough, I had a 6'7". I went to Catholic school in high school, 6'7", dean of discipline, white Aryan race dude, looked me in the eye and asked me, "What do you want to be?" I said, "I want to be an engineer." He looked at me and just laughed. He said, "Forget about that shit, man. Just go find a vocation and, you know, try to make the best out of your life." That's what he told me. This was in the 70s, you know, and I just, you know, I just looked at him, you know, and I just looked at him. I said, "What?" You know, I mean, I just, you know, I went to high school in 72. So anyway, I said to myself, you know what? No way. You know, my cousin was an engineer. I went to Buffalo, became an engineer. It taught me something, being, like I said, the spook who sat by the door. And a couple of things I was like most men, even in the baby boomer era, my house was filled with women, loved them all, but you couldn't talk to anybody. So one of the things I wanted to do is be around men. So when I went to college, I saw it when I joined the frat. There was brothers in the administration. There was brothers in grad school. There was brothers. They were reestablishing the chapter. They were from all across the country. And I learned a lot. Some were married. Some had kids. Some were dentists, cardiology. I mean, so I said, shit, I can learn a lot from these guys, just by being around. Now, so what I'm saying is I always had some value to myself. When it came to women, right, I was always middling. But that's not what I always targeted women who were just above my reach. And once I got rejected and I still was alive from one of the prettiest girls on the campus, I said, shit, man, this is fun. I could take that rejection. I always went for ladies above my ilk. And I mean, sometimes, I went for just people at my level, So the one thing I did when I went to college, I'm going to land it here, was saying I would never really be intimidated by a woman in terms of being able to approach her. That's the one thing, I would never want to do. I mean, I wasn't no Casanova, none of that shit. But for me to say hello to somebody and see what her reaction was, I wasn't going to let that be a problem, and just in real life, I took that into a lot of different areas. The leadership I learned in college, being the head of the frat, and all of that kind of stuff. Before I graduated, and I'm going to end it here, all the white fraternities on campus, they wanted me to be in charge of the whole Pan-Hellenic Council, not just the black frats, but the white frats. And I said, shit, man, I need to graduate. I need to get the hell out of here. But to this day, I wish maybe I should have took that job, but it was more important for me to finish my engineering degree. And that's what I did. So, I mean, so as far as, I think we are good enough. And we just need to tell men, no matter what they say on these airways, the social media, the plethora of black women who telling us that we ain't shit, somehow you're going to have to turn that off and say, you know what? What's my value to myself? And once you learn that, I think you should be able to move the way you need to move through life and not be judged by somebody else's thoughts on you, especially if you're doing good things. Especially if you're on your purpose. So I'll just land it there.
I had a question for you, Dr. Payne. Where'd you go to school? What state did you go to school?
Oh, New York, University of Buffalo.
Okay. And you were born and raised in New York as well?
Yeah, New York City. Yeah. Manhattan, Harlem, and then the Bronx.
Yeah. Because I was, and I just knew this to be the truth in New York, or a truth in New York, like it was in Chicago when I grew up. Talking to women was almost on the level of a sport in Chicago. Like, dude, we going to this club, this party. How many numbers did you get? That was a goal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it was in other places, but I know in the 80s, conquest was really, like, player conquest was really pushed in the 70s and 80s when I was coming up as a teenager and a youngster. Like being that dude that had a lot of girls, but the rule was the girls had to know it. The dudes that the dudes I used to hang with looked down on dudes that cheat. Real players don't cheat. Don't lay up and lie to her. If you gotta lie to her, then you ain't supposed to be with her. But we were more conquest driven, and then from that, where sisters found us untrustworthy, because those are the things that we were taught. We were taught they were dispensable, and they were taught we were untrustworthy. And I think we need to not see ourselves as either of those and start to work from there. What say you people?
No, I agree with that. One of the things you said about not lying to ladies. Listen, you had to be willing to leave a lot of the goodies on the table, and that's what I did. You know, a lot of men ain't willing to do that, right? So so I didn't really,
Okay, I got to interrupt you for one thing. I'm gonna need you to. That's dope. Expound on what you mean by leave the goodies on the table.
I mean, I got a couple of, what I'm saying is men have to understand if you're going to be truthful to the woman, right? You got to take what she's going to say back to you, because a lot of women don't want the full fact truth when you talk to them. They like to have what I would call plausible deniability of what they're doing with you, right? So, I mean, I wasn't, like I said, a player. I had one great story about a young lady.
Well, you sound like one.
No, I wasn't. I'm serious. I'm telling you, I was just a Midland dude compared to some guys. But this young lady across the street, I was 21 years old. She was 17, but she was already out there in the street. She had grown men coming to her house, but I lived across the street, and she liked me, and she was beautiful. I mean, she wasn't just good looking; she was just beautiful. But I told her, I can't mess with you. You're 17, I'm playing this, I'm a grown man shit, right? And she's already dealing with the men from the hood in Buffalo already, grown men. And so she really didn't like that. So I didn't do anything with her, but I saw her around 3 years later in a club. She had blossomed into this thing that was unbelievable. So I said, shit, now she's legal, right? So I went up there to try to talk to her. She acted like she didn't know me. You know what I'm saying? So I said, "Damn, maybe I should have bit the apple when it was on the tree." So I mean, but I was always one of those guys that say, "Listen, you know what? I don't want to leave bitter women behind." So if we can't deal on me letting you know what I want to do on that level, I said, okay, I'm gonna miss out. I mean, I had a lady told me, "Listen, man, I want you to be truthful, but not that truthful."
Damn.
I swear I've had those experiences. That's why when I got married, I was still young, and I'm in landed here. I didn't need to have 1,000 different women to understand a basic understanding of women. I had just enough experience to say, okay, I know what's out there, and now it's time for me to pull up the reins, because I really wanted to be a married man, have a family, and all that kind of stuff. And the rest you guys know about. So I don't think I really missed anything out there. That's why I tell the young guys, and very sparingly, that I don't envy you today's situation. But if I had to be out there, I'd probably go to the gym, get into a little bit more shape, and I still won't have any trouble with the women, because I understand.
You better talk your talk, RP.
Let me do a mic check real quick. Am I in?
Yeah, you good, man.
You're good.
You got a delay though.
Yeah, I don't know why all of a sudden I'm having internet problems. And I think they're doing this on purpose, though. I think they're trying to force me to buy those Wi-Fi extenders.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to force me to buy those. You know what I'm saying?
Go out and turn your Wi-Fi off, turn it back on, and then come back in. And you might that helps. Real talk. That resets. You got stale numbers.
And you refreshing your IP address.
You got stale numbers.
Okay. Let's get Jenny in while I go do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait 10 seconds before you turn it back on.
Okay.
Come on, Miss Jenny, what you got?
So I think that I have a kind of interesting perspective on this, because I guess I'm seeing it from the other side of the fence. Since you guys are all saying that, not only are you guys Black men, but you prefer Black women. And I don't know, I guess for me, there was a long time where I didn't prefer Black men and I wasn't interested in a Black guy. But I ended up marrying a Black guy, which was very surprising to me. But I feel like it was because I felt like the Black men had kind of like turned their back on me because all throughout growing up, it was always, oh, you're too tall, or oh, you're too weird, or oh, you're basic Oreo. And so I felt like I was kind of the one being ostracized. But as I've gotten older, I can definitely see that it is, there is a lot more on Black men than it is on women. I mean, I guess especially in my age group, like people say that as you get older, the tables kind of turn, and the second half of life is really where men kind of shine more, right? And then women, they kind of fall to the back burner. But yeah, I mean, this is something that I try to really be mindful about now, because now I have a Black man that I'm raising. And so I think that it's really unfortunate when I hear stories like the one that Beans led with about the boy, well, I guess the teenager or young man whose mother constantly was criticizing him and the dad didn't step to his defense. And I've heard similar stories like that where, it just seems like I have a friend of mine who his mom has been sabotaging his weight loss journey his whole life. And anytime that he would want to make positive, healthy changes or eat less or cut a certain food group like sugar or carbs or whatever, she'd be like, oh, you don't want to do that. Oh, no, you don't have to do that. Oh, no. Like they would go out to eat and at a fast food restaurant. And he would be like, oh, I'll take this. And she'll be like, oh, no, I'll get you this, this, and this. And it's just like, I don't understand. So I don't know. I think that subconsciously, maybe unknowingly, but maybe partially knowingly, that, Black women, we just kind of take Black for granted. I'm reading this book right now. Well, I'm listening to it. It's called The Boy Crisis, and it's very good. It's about males in general in the West, but they have little pieces that they talk about Black men, and I look through it. I listen to it through the lens of having been married to a Black man and now raising a Black boy. And I think about how in our society it's seen that mothers are necessities while fathers are luxuries, and the way that society has shifted, it's very female oriented. And so a lot of males, a lot of young boys, they're coming up and they don't know where they fit in, because our society not that long ago was very muscle oriented, and now it's mind oriented. And it seems like society hasn't really caught up to how the economy shapes. And it's like, okay, we don't need as many like coal miners and oil riggers, I guess. We need more like tech people and AI developers or whatever, so it's like, the book is like trying to help parents navigate their sons through this landscape. And I heard a stat, which I thought was really interesting, that said that, 93% of women would say that there is a fatherlessness crisis. And I'm like, well, who are these 93% of women? Because I'm sure a good portion of them are contributing to the fatherlessness crisis. But I guess I would just say, moreover, my perspective as a woman who has Black men that I care about deeply, that we should more. Oh, am I coming in clear? I feel like I froze up for a second. Okay.
A little choppy, but it's a little choppy, but keep going.
The audio is good.
You're cooking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I definitely just feel like, we as Black women, we are definitely dropping the ball in the way that we perceive our Black men. Like, last thing is that I just saw this video yesterday where this Black woman, she posted on Threads, and she said that her boyfriend gave her an ultimatum and said that if she lost 60 pounds, that he would be official with her. And so she said, challenge accepted. And everybody in the comments was like, oh, you need to drop him. Oh, you need to leave him. Oh, he's trash. And it's just like, this guy, he was already getting what he wanted from her. He was getting no sexual access to her. And he told her, trying to be honest with her, like Art Payne was saying, you can't be too honest with these women, that, if you were to lose 60 pounds, then I would be serious about you. I would actually take you seriously and we could be official. And she was like liking all the comments that were saying to leave him. And it's like, he's trying to build something with you. He's trying to give you what you want, and you're going to let these other single women keep you single. And so I think that us as Black women, that we should try to take Black men more seriously, listen to what they say, and actually try to, build with them. Like, I think it was like last month on TikTok, there was trending, the war on the weight. and um, and the black women, they were like, oh, black men, they've always been criticizing us, and it's like black men don't even criticize black women's weight the way other races do. But yeah, I think that us as black women, we could do better in actually caring and looking after our black men.
I think.
Can I say one thing, Jeff?
Sure.
To what you said, Jenny, it's a whole show. Women are a necessity and men are a luxury. You could make a whole show out of talking about that. That line just hit me. It just hit me. There's a lot of women, and there's a lot of women out there who believe. And that's probably right at the root of some of the issues that we have with parenting. Women actually think that men are just, a luxury in the kid's life. Both sons and daughters. That's a whole show right there. That's it. I'm just landing that.
Well, yeah, great. And thanks, Arpain. One of us has smoked a lot of really good weed. And now I had a good question that was different from that one that you could have retained until I said my question. So in the interest of me not forgetting shit,
I'm sorry, man.
Me, sir. She was making a great point, and now I can't remember it. Damn it. As Jenny, let me compliment you, as you routinely do. You make a whole bunch of sense. You argue against you are the argument against, we don't like female opinion. We don't. You just make a gang of sense. One of the things I chimed with you on is being too nerdy for niggas. That was me. My whole unless they was playing Scrabble or Trivial Pursuit, niggas didn't give a shit about what I wanted to do because I was a nerdy reader. So there is a part of that inside of our community, and I had something much better to ask you. That damn asshole Arpain knocked it out.
I'm sorry, man.
You better, Bad Beans? Are you better? How's that?
I hope so, man.
You sound good.
You sound good.
All right, so Lost, you want to pull this video up for me?
I got you, brother.
For a black woman, why would I continue to date a race of men who don't respect what I bring to the table, who I am, how strong I am, how I stand?
That's not all black men.
It's not all black, and I'm not speaking as an entire race.
Look at God.
Won't he do it? Hold on a second, y'all.
Race. Don't respect what I bring to the table, who I am, how strong I am, how I stand.
That's not all black men.
It's not all black, and I'm not speaking as an entire race.
Your group.
I'm not talking as an entire race. I'm just saying that there is a large percentage of black men who don't really hold it down for y'all. You might be a great man. Your boys might be great, but you got to know that your cousins ain't right. I'm not saying people have to be perfect, but as a black woman who has always dated black, I've dated twice outside of my race, and it was amazing. And I did feel guilty, like maybe I should stay within my race, but all bets are off now because I'm tired. I'm tired of trying to teach people how to treat me. So if I meet someone outside of my race that chooses to come at me in a more respectful, a more consistent manner than what I've been experiencing, that's what I'm going to do.
Your thing.
I'm going to be colorblind.
Okay, if it's okay, can y'all hear me?
So
yes.
If it's okay, I would like to I would like to play. There's at you guys' leisure. There is a video I know that you will not. It's from the Zowat Morning Show. That I covered this very topic and it's very relevant. So after all y'all get done with this, if you don't mind, I got it queued up to
yeah. So the reason why I wanted to play that video, right, is because I don't actually have a problem with what she said, right? And if you notice, no, she didn't get a whole bunch of pushback, right? But if a man says that same exact thing, guess what he gets? A whole bunch of pushback. You see, this way it comes to the point where it's like, again, you're subtly telling us that we're not good enough, right? I'm not even good enough to complain. I'm not good enough to launch my complaints or extend my grievances, right? Share my experiences without being gaslit or any of this other stuff. But women can say this out loud. Now, I told my son, don't date black girls. It's all the uproar. But this woman can say, look, I'm done with black men. Y'all don't know how to treat us. Y'all don't know how to respect us. Y'all don't know how to value what we bring to the table. You notice she said they don't value what we bring to the table, right? So it's not I'm bringing to the table what you need, what you want as a man. I'm bringing what I'm bringing to the table, and you ought to value it. And if you don't, then the problem is you. You see? So it's to me, it's very problematic. All of these different ways that the women who look like us, the women who we come from, the women who we were raised with, by, and around are continuously telling us in so many different ways that we're not good enough.
Okay. If y'all ready, I got this clip too. Let me know when you want to play.
You got it ready, Jeff? I got you.
All right. Oh my God, how he has a rap career is beyond me. I don't get it. And he takes his shirt off. Oh my God, he looks like 50 pounds of chewed Tootsie Rolls. All right. Now you are in white fashion. You know, white boys always leave the house like they're gonna help somebody move. And defend the horrible hoes. There are some horrible people. And what you need to do is start policing your own. All right, hit me this morning on Facebook. A black woman posted something about how they are opening their options up to date out of their race, and they don't care if black men are angry. Ladies, black ladies who are watching the show, I've had great news for you. We don't give a shit. We don't care. We don't care. Go and be free. I don't know if you've checked, but last time I checked, there is no great American black woman shortage. Go. Other than the Nation of Islam, there are no brothers losing any sleep about who you screw. If the 8 out of 10 of you, we're tired of. 8 out of 10 of you. We have just, in the words of Tommy Lee, the famous, fantastic drummer for Motley Crue, when asked about Pamela Anderson, you show me the finest woman in the world, and I'll show you a man that's tired of her shit. Okay? We don't care. You're not getting even with us. Stop trying to pull even with us. We are beneath you. Men are beneath you. That's why it's not okay to fuck like we do. When is the last time you had to talk a man into fucking you? Pussy is earned, dick isn't. That's the difference, okay? When is the last time you had to wash your car and cut your hair and look like you had some money and look like you were interested in our gender-specific shit just long enough to get in our pants? You don't have to do that. You don't even have to show up clean. If you're fine enough, we'll bathe you before we fuck you.
Wow.
We don't care. I'm done. I think
The intellectual rant, ladies.
Okay, so yeah, that was a little bit of self-aggrandizement.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
But that's over 10 years old. That's the fat meat eating Jeff Brown. That's the used to roll with Corey Holcomb Jeff Brown. Me, Corey, and Zoe, we've been talking about this years. How Black women, and now it should be clear to you that this I'm gonna go date out of my race thing is fictitious. The white man knows right where you are. He put you there. They're not coming to save you. There's no Eastern European oil baron roaming the hoods of your neighborhood looking to take you and your kids out to eat and get your breaks done. That you're gonna have to deal with us. And in order to do that, you're gonna have to examine yourself. There's no boat coming. I don't know what choice you have, what options you think that you're employing. Outside of fetish, I don't think in droves, I'm not talking about happenstance, you work with, you happen to meet. There are no other dudes of other races dying to be treated like we are reporting that you are treating us. Do you know why? Because they're men too, and they believe us. You think they think we're lying on you? This is why so many of you are still single. Because all the other men that you bluffing like you gonna date can see right through your shit. They see the difference between the way you treat your supervisor and the way you treat your man. They see it. So no boat is coming, is my point. And y'all can take it from there.
Yo, mute Beans.
My bad. Lost. Are you married?
No, I'm single, man.
Okay. So including Miss Jenny, that 4 of the people on the panel would be married, right? I'm still counting Miss Jenny.
Right.
So when I have this theory that it's not that I'm anti-marriage, I'm just anti-marriage young, right? Because of the way society is set up right now.
Right.
Does anybody think that's fair? Right? Because if the thing that you want the most from a man is provision and security, and on average they can't provide that until they're in their 40s, right? That's all of a sudden when you start becoming good enough, right? Should we not tailor a message to young boys and men, for that matter, that they ought to prolong getting married?
I'm here. I'm okay. Let a few.
I don't know. Arpain, where you at?
Yo, my camera's acting up, so I'm
Oh,
up
okay.
here. Somehow my camera blacked out. I can get out and come back in, but I'll answer that. You have a point there, Beans, but I still would prefer guys to get married early because it'll help the vetting process that you found a woman who would want to build a future with you, as opposed to waiting for you to be at a finish line. You know what I'm saying? So if you find a lady who's willing to marry you when you don't have it all, but you have a plan and you have a pathway to the future, I think you build a better bond than if you're 40 and she says, okay, this guy has the job, he has all these kind of things that I'm looking for, like some of the modern women are talking about today. What they're also telling you is that, you know, if you didn't have these provisions, I don't want to have nothing to do with you. You know, and so do they really want you or what you have? I mean, I had a girlfriend that told me when I was in college, I had a single room as a freshman, which was unheard of. And she actually looked at me in the eye and said, if you didn't have this room, you wouldn't get any of these goodies.
Wow.
Right? And she said that straight to me. And I looked at her and I just smiled. And we just passed the Doochie on the left-hand side and we just got busy. So she was my
that
was it. Yeah, I didn't say nothing else. I said, yeah, that was it.
Yeah, but
So what I'm saying is,
but
go ahead.
but here's the thing, though, right? And Coach, you can get. I just want to ask a clarifying question. Not even clarifying, actually, it's a challenge to it because they're seeing that regardless to the age, right? Even if the woman gets with you young, right? It's based on her belief in your what's that word? Lost the translation.
Your
When
plan or
they think you're gonna do something.
potential.
Right.
Potential.
You're freezing again.
Say it again. I think my internet's
Potential.
Potential. There you go. Yes.
Yeah.
It's about the potential, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because what we're seeing right now, if they're getting married later, right? So people are starting to get married when they're around 30, but the average length of the marriage in the Black community is still 5.5 years, right? 5 to 7 years, depending on which data you believe. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're still not staying together. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying maybe what you're talking about is optimal, but it's not at present day. I don't think that that's necessarily the best choice because we're not getting the results from that, particularly when people are marrying younger. But when people are getting married, I don't think you're going to get divorced anytime soon. I bet you Jeff ain't getting divorced anytime soon. I bet you Coach Ferg ain't getting divorced anytime soon. Jenny wouldn't have been getting divorced anytime soon either, even though she's younger, right? But I'm just saying, like, can you see what I mean? Like, it seems like today's generation of people are better suited to get married when they're older and they stop having all of these expectations. I think that ruin relationships. Can you see where I'm coming from?
Well, go ahead. I mean, I'm not on camera.
Beams.
Go ahead, Coach.
No,
I wanted to answer that too. But go ahead.
What you're saying is exact on, right? I have a 22-year-old son who's out here right now in the midst of navigating dating and trying to build his life. So, and this is where, and I can see what our pain is saying, right? But for me to join those together, what I tell my son, like what you said, you seeing what the message is towards you in your group of women. The women I grew up wasn't walking around saying, Jeff, you ain't shit. Lost, you ain't shit. The teenage girls, the 24-year-olds, 30-year-olds, mothers wasn't telling son, well, I didn't
like
see
this.
It. Mothers wasn't telling son, daddy ain't shit. Mother just allowed you to see how daddy moved. Most people, said today a lot of, I guess when I look at the time, because I work in the messaging from the kids, I work with the kids who were having the messages told to them that they wasn't nothing. And a lot of it stemmed from the family members who were closest to them. And my son, listen, it even goes back. When I was young, Black people, we talked about each other from sun up to sundown, made jokes about it all our life, right? So I was able to own that because my parents still told me they love me. You know what I'm saying? Some girls say I'm cute, so I tell myself I'm cute. I had models that were exemplifying to me to love yourself and to accept yourself and be great. But then when I started dealing with society, it was like, okay, not everybody loves me the same way, but the people closest to me didn't discourage me. So now to my son, I've taken like, son, listen, I tell him all the time, you have a baby out of wedlock, you will struggle a long time. It will set you back 25, 30 years, not just 18. Because if you're not married, then you just a baby daddy. And that's taking resources away from you. And the ideology that you have, you find out it's not the same ideology from her. So I've seen that message and I'll tell him about 35, 40, maybe, but he has to be diligent and understand, listen. And I think I don't know if it was our pain, Jeff, brother, somebody, find somebody who comes from good involved parents, not mother, father. Beings, you seem like you'll go up and talk to anybody. If you can't talk to her father, then there might be a problem that everybody needs to discuss.
I gotta push back on that.
It's got to be the whole message. But that's what I'm saying. There's no covering of the young women coming out. There's no father representing them, and if there's no connection with that, you're going to miss out on a lot.
I don't argue that, brother. I don't argue that. But and to go back to a few of the dope ass points you made about I want to go back to what you said about being told you ain't shit. We were allowed to watch and pass judgment on our fathers on our own, not knowing on the slick a lot of times, mama just nudged that judgment. She didn't just come out and say it, but she would insinuate. I saw that in gang growing up and I understood that that wasn't right. And those children were my age who were told, who saw and decided that their daddies wasn't shit and started to refer to them openly as that. So what did those women, what did my women, my age, the 60-somethings, what did they teach them kids? That's right where that started at. And I don't think, and the other point I was going to make is, brother, I literally chasing the ghosts of what I thought my past was supposed to be. That's how I wound up with my ex-wife on that same shit about the list you're supposed to have. Everything on her list was a facade that I watched crack. And I still, trying to play something in my subconscious programming, saw all these flaming red flags and went forward. And she had a great relationship with her father. Relationship with her mother was Armageddon. Horrible stuff I won't mention here for her. And she never got past it. And that's fair to say. And
let's welcome to the show Mr. 100 Watts. 100 Watts in the building. I want to throw because he seems a bit on the younger side, right? I want to throw him and Jenny a lob, right? I want to play this video for y'all real quick and then get y'all responses first, and then us old heads will jump in after that. You got it for me, Lost?
I am a 304. Yes, Lord. And I come from a two-parent household. 304s don't always come from households where the father is not there. Like, my parents poured into my education. I was homeschooled. They paid thousands upon thousands of dollars for that. I went to a Catholic school. My sister went to a Spanish immersion school. And they still raised 3 girls with degrees. But I pop cat on the internet. Period. My middle sister, she's a dancer. And the youngest one, she's in the military. So, according to y'all, they only got one right. But according to them... Cause not me and one of us got a boop boop boodoo. I need money, boop boop boodoo. I'm broke, boop boop boodoo. I'm struggling, boop boop boodoo. I need help.
All right. So here's the question I want to lob to y'all. Do y'all think that we are overhyping the two-parent household? And how is it possible that so many people are coming from these two-parent households and still turning out to be 304s, habitually single parents, men and women I'm talking about here?
4 parents. That's how. You have to think of the 4 parents who parented those 2 parents.
Well, I want to talk to the young people first. And
okay, my bad. Yeah, okay.
We could start with Jenny, and then we'll go to 100 Watts, and then those old people can chime in.
So yeah, I mean, I think that Jeff is partially right. You know, it's the parents even before them, but I think that for one, you know, she's an exception, not the rule. If you know, you can't prevent everything in life. You know, so yeah, even though she's a 304, you know, she's a skeezer, that doesn't mean that the two-parent household, you know, is just down the drain and that, oh, it doesn't work. And it's like, if you want to hedge your bets, then a two-parent household is still, statistically speaking, a better chance. So there's that. You know, there's always anomalies, there's always exceptions. And then secondly, parents do not parent on islands. Parents, they have to parent in the society in which they're raising their children, and our society is completely degenerate and perverted. And so her parents could have been decent, her parents could have been idiots. However, our society is degenerate. And even though she said they're homeschooled, I plan on homeschooling my son, but you just can't. And then the very last thing, so it's like, one, the two parent, she's an anomaly. Two, you can't, it's nurture over, it's nature including nurture. And then lastly, everyone's an individual. People are just going to do what they would do. It doesn't matter necessarily about all these different factors. If you want to do bad, you're going to do bad. So I think those are the three main things that are in play here.
So 100 watts, I want to throw it to you, but I want to add this caveat to see if it maybe makes you think a little bit different, right? Because not intentionally trying to disagree with Miss Jenny, but if we just look at Black folks, right, I can make an argument that she's not the anomaly. And here's the reason why. Because the majority of us in our community come from single mother homes, right? So if we talk about the majority of us that come from single mother homes, and then we look at those who are coming from the two-parent homes, but we look at the percentage of us that are still single, single mothers, single dads, out of wedlock, not getting married, it's a bigger percentage than those of us that come from two-parent homes. And then when you look at and you add into the divorce rate, right, which is about 50%, right? Only 33% of men, 28% of women, right? So technically, even coming, not that they're all 304s on the internet popping cat, but they are habitually single, not married, divorced, single parents, unhealthy, on drugs, right? This is what we're kind of producing, whether it's the two-parent home or the single mother home. Does that make you think of it any differently, or do you have the same thought that you had when the question was first?
So I think that, for one, I think we all know that whether a single parent household or a two-parent household, there are way too many other including factors that will determine what direction your child goes into, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have too many examples of professional basketball players that was raised in a single parent household that ended up making millions upon millions of dollars for their family and yada yada, all the good stuff, right?
And keeping it.
But statistically speaking, we all know that a two-parent household raises the floor for the potential of your children. If it does nothing else, it at least raises the floor for your children, right? Their rock bottom is going to be completely different than the rock bottom of a single mom who's on drugs, who's in and out of jail, in and out of foster care. Like, that rock bottom looks completely different. That's not to say that the child of a two-parent household can't hit the same rock bottom. It's just the probability of it completely changes. So when you have two parents in a household, it just changes the probability. Because again, even with the two-parent household, you could very well possibly have a father that goes to work and come home, doesn't interact with his kids, and just sits in front of the TV all day. Like that's a possibility. You know what I'm saying? So I think the two-parent household, if nothing else, just raises the floor for the potential of your kids. Because and I think the other side of that too, if you look at it from the probability of the parents, there is no guarantee to say that all three of your children are going to come out flourishing. It's very possible that one of your kids is going to come out a fuck up. You have 3 or 4 kids. It's very well possible that one of them's going to be a fuck up, just based on the nature of humans. It's just simply based on the nature of humans. Somebody's gonna be a fuck up in your house.
Somebody going to jail.
Is it gonna be one of your kids, or is it gonna be your husband? It's just a matter of who's gonna fuck up.
All right, old timers, what we got to say?
All right. Well, I'll just jump right on in here. But first, if you don't mind, can you give me an age range of you, Sister Jenny? I said, what? If you don't mind, what's your age range? How old are you?
I just turned 27.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay. And 100 watts, how old are you?
33.
See this right here? This is what I keep discussing. Hate to thrust it upon you, but you are the wise old black people of the future. With this shit that's about to go down, and this is where I don't know how we don't have this conversation, how we can't have this part of the conversation now. There's about to be a grand culling to where Mr. Jones is going to have to opt to not take care of other grown black women, as in do their bidding. Nothing sexual. The money they make come in the house and you in charge of it on some shit like that. Excuse me, I'm in cuss in front of your baby. It's about to move that way. A lot of this that we complain about just isn't going to make it. With everything, with every crutch that's been taken away. Welfare gone. Medicaid gone. It's going to come down to the people who can really sustain themselves. The people who can't, who are lacking, are going to come to the areas where they're lacking that can help them. Those people that make some damn sense out of that is going to be a tribe. And this marriage, it's going to fall to the left. And I hate to be so fatalist, but I think we need to try to wrap our brains around that. Well, it's hard for me to look at monogamy and going forward with the plan that they are purposely destroying that was backwards. That thing we thought of as marriage and the homes, can we see that the system is purposely eating that? This next thing for us, I think, resembles what I just said, and I'll yield the floor.
You know, I'm gonna go back and answer Bean's question earlier. I want to hit 2 points. You said, how is it possible that you can get a 304 from a two-parent household? I like to use context clues. You know what I'm saying? I'm like Jeff, I'm a tesseract thinker. Give me something one time, I listen to it one time, and I'll tell you exactly how it happens. She said she had 3 sisters, right? And we already know girls are more expensive, right? So they had a mother and a father. I assure you, both of them had to work. Okay. So in that particular situation, both parents were away from the home. So that means those girls didn't get something poured into them like they should have. You see what I'm saying? If I'm thinking what I'm thinking, you know what I mean? If he put them through school, he took care of 2 girls or whatever. And then on top of that, those girls have never been told that they probably been loved or cared for, anything like that. That's what peer pressure comes in. So what happens is, if the rest of the world is jacked up and you leave your daughter out there, like most of these women leave their sons out here, they'll be introduced like the boys are introduced to gangs. Or in this case, women will be introduced to 304 culture, because they'll start hanging around other little girls, listen to Yeah Glow, you know what I'm saying? And they'll start picking up a lot of bad habits. And if their mother and father's not there to check them, then they're going to feel accepted in a place where they probably shouldn't feel accepted. You see what I'm saying? So that is how you can actually get a 304 from a two-parent household. It's put it like this. It's not uncommon for that to happen, but it does happen. You know, when you have a lot of people working in the household and you leave kids up to themselves to love themselves and to raise themselves, that's what happens. Now, as far as the other lady was concerned, when she was saying she couldn't find nobody, this, that, and the other, and she was saying that all the guys wasn't no good and this, that, and the other, my question to her is, who told her to dig in the garbage can? Did you hear what I said? Why is it that she can't get the guys that she really want? My thing is this: why are you always digging in the trash, trying to find gold out of a butthole? You see what I'm saying? My thing is this: why don't you go up and find a guy who can appreciate what you bring to the table? See, my thing is this: she already out of pocket, because it's not his job to support her like that. It's her job to bring out the best that's in him. It's her job to speak to the king in him and not the other way around. And that's the main reason why she's single, because she don't know how to talk to folks. That's her problem. And I think that is the main issue. We got people out of pocket doing things that they shouldn't be doing. If you go back and you look at that, all she did was talk down to the guys she could talk down to. But I assure you, she couldn't talk down to the brothers who can tell her about herself. You see what I'm saying? The guys who make more money, the guys who are more better shape, the guys who have more selection of women. Those men right there, she don't count because she knows she doesn't qualify for those guys. So it's easier for her to shoot fish in a barrel at guys who ain't got nothing going on for themselves. See, that's the disingenuous end of the conversation, that we don't call people out on their BS. My thing is this: if you're so great, then why won't you get the guy who appreciate who you are and what you allegedly bring to the table? You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, these people don't know how to speak to the king and the man. And I think that's the main reason why the king never shows up.
Let me share this with y'all. I don't know if anybody else want to respond, but I want to share this with you. I did some quick research, right? So according to a 2020 current population survey, about 37% of Black children live with two biological parents, and another 4% living with two cohabitating parents. Some data shows that it might be another 3% added to that, so it might be like 7%. So anywhere in between 41 to 44% living with two parents, which is much more than people actually think it is. But when we look at the actual marriage rates of our adult males, it's still 33%, 28%, right, respectively, for men and women. So the same way how I'm doing math, the AI is doing math the same way and saying, since we don't actually have the information about what percentage of married people come from a two-parent household, you can just assume that it's likely out of that 100%, we can go around 36 to 38%, right, coming from a two-parent household. So that would mean the majority of people, Black people who end up getting married, come from single-parent homes. You see what I'm saying? So I know by default that that's because of the fact that we have more single-parent homes. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not even arguing against marriage. Again, I'm just saying, are we overinflating it? If they're not, marriages aren't lasting. If the kids coming from these situations aren't getting married more, right? They aren't going from that into two-parent households. And that girl in that video said she was homeschooled, at least for a while.
That
right?
makes sense.
So
but wouldn't that speak to the opposite of what you're saying? That to me, that sounds like that would speak to the value of two-parent households. Because if a majority of people that are getting married are coming from single-parent households, and a majority of people that are getting divorced are single-parent households, that would then, to me, mean that the majority of marriages that stay together could possibly be the majority of people that come from two-parent households.
Well, but that would be a crazy,
maybe my brain is registering it different.
Because we don't have any data at all to back that up, right? But we have data to show why marriages last and end, right? And usually that's not a data point for it. Not that I don't understand why you would think it, right? But what we tend to see is they make more money, the relationships last longer. They make less money, relationships end faster, right? She's more degreed, relationships end faster if he's not degreed or doesn't make as much money as she does. If she's not degreed and he makes more money, relationships tend to last longer, right? We have like all of those kind of data points. But what I'm showing you is that the people coming from the two-parent, and I'm talking about 2025, right? Coming from two-parent households in 2025 aren't getting married any more than people coming from a rate perspective, aren't getting married any more than people coming from single-parent homes, right? So are we overselling this because we're trying to convince women that they need us, right? That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about what's best. I'm saying look at where we are today as a people. That's what we don't do, especially us older folks. We don't do a lot of times. We try to raise our kids in the world we grew up in, but it's a new world out You understand?
Can,
I think that
I got you.
before you go, let me just say this, because Beans, I think you're right. I think you're right from the standpoint of the statistics you're talking about in the modern era. But what we're missing is it better now because of the way things have turned out? Or if we could look, the only look back I would say is when we had nuclear families and we start looking at the percentages of kids who made it and the ones who didn't before things fell apart. Was that better for the family? Like for my family, for example, the people today in my family are still anchored by the fact that we had intact families 40 years ago.
Yeah, but our pain. Wait, because this is what I'm saying. Like, unfortunately, you're doing the thing that I'm talking about right now.
No. I'm gonna come back to the.
I understand. I just want to give it to you just in case. Watch this, because those people back then were a different breed of people.
No, but I want to tie it together. Let me say this because I agree with you. I hear what you're saying about the past. What I'm saying about right now, the way you look at it from the present day situation, that you can't really distinguish whether you come from a 2-family household or not in terms of our marriage rate. I agree with you 100%. But that is a disintegration from how it used to be because of the times that we're in. And the only question now is it better now or is it more prudent now? Is if I had to make a comparison to the past or now, how were we living? Is it better living this way or was it better living that way?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's not the question, right? We understand that it's worse.
Well, okay.
So here's the thing: everybody understands that it's worse. It's just that the majority of us are spending time pointing the finger.
Well, right? But let me finish then.
Because I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just want you to like answer the question.
I'm sorry. Okay, so then can we ask why is it worse?
Well, you could, but I'm saying I just want you to answer the question though, right?
Okay, one more time. Say the question.
Yes, because the question is for today's people. These people today, if I put you in front of a car, you probably will understand how to fix it. If I put a hammer in front of in Uncle Jeff's hand, he would know how to build something, right? It's a different breed of people, right? Our women are on OnlyFans and all of that other stuff, right? It's a different breed of people. So I'm saying, are we overselling the 2-parent household, right? Because of the fact that we're trying to get women to I'm tying this into the topic of the show, which is we aren't good enough. And I'm saying, are we overselling the 2-parent household thing because we want women to feel like they need us?
Oh, no, I hear you. I don't. Okay, so my answer would be no. My answer would be no, that we're not overselling it, even if it never happens. We're not overselling it because women don't really need men until they do. Well, women really don't need us until they do. And I have a positive theory to you that if you look at all women, every woman, they really don't have any use for a man until they need us. If you talk to a woman and ask her to talk about every man in her orbit, she extracts something from every man or else he wouldn't be there. That includes married women too. Women don't want, listen, the random male orbiters around a woman who they all want to have sex, but the fact is, if they're around her, she extracts something from them. One man might be money, one man might be a conversation, one might be emotional support. But as soon as a guy's not valued to a woman, he's not in her orbit. So the fact is, women don't need us until they do. And it sounds like one of those kind of play on words, but it's actually true. You know, it's actually true. I mean, I as far as I'm concerned, maybe we can get deeper with it. So when we look at it, I think men should just be on our square because eventually women are going to need us, but we got to make them earn that. We got to make them earn that. When they need us, we can't just be giving ourselves to them. We should be unavailable to women so they can understand that when they need us, they ain't getting that shit for free. I'm not talking sex either. Right? I'm saying, we are valuable to women because without us, man, they're all over the fucking place. The one thing I think that men do for women is grounding. especially if you're on your square, or else they'll be. Look what's going on now.
Let me pose this. So here's the thing. Watts, Ferg, Lit, everybody. Think about it from this perspective. The title of the show is Black Men, You're Not Good Enough. The only way we can even position that as a title of a show is that some of us have to be feeling that. Okay. Right? It's not just that the women are saying it, even though they are, right? In other words, besides just saying it, but some of us have to actually be feeling like we aren't good enough. So how does that show up, right? And I think it shows up in a lot of red pill content. And it's disguised as this masculine thing. Right. But that's what I'm saying. What does it look like for us? You know what I'm saying? Because we could talk about the women all day and then we become very circular. But what is them treating us like we're not good enough? How does that look for us? How do you see the man? And Uncle Jeff knows me. We've had conversations, so he knows this is applicable to me. You know what I'm saying? He can point out and say, yeah, Beans be feeling like this. He be moving like this. And I know that's because the women in his life have made him feel like he wasn't good enough. You see what I'm saying? So what does that look like? And I would like to throw it to 100 Watts. You know why? Because he's younger.
Yes, because
I want to know if he can see it. Are you seeing it amongst the younger crowd where they feel like they aren't good enough? And if so, how is that showing up?
I would say that I know the younger crowd is feeling it because I've been working on it. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been, my lady and I have we working on, you know, communicating with each other, like speaking out loud the shit that what we got going on. Because there are times where I do feel like she does not appreciate what it is that I bring into these four walls. And whenever I feel like that is the case, I need to make sure that I say something. I feel like you don't appreciate what it is that I do around here. Then when you get that, what you mean? Whoa, calm down. Like it is real. It happens. And I think that it happens because people just as a whole get comfortable. When you are good at doing when you're a man and you stand on your square and you do good at doing your job, the woman that's in your life is going to get comfortable and start expecting you to do your job because you're good at your job. You show up every time and you're doing your job. So then it becomes a point to where the expectation turns into a demand. Now it starts feeling like you're being demanded to do what you already want to do. But now because you're demanding it, you're taking the joy out of. So to answer your question, what it looks like, you're taking the joy out of anything it is that I do. You're taking the joy out of the time I spend with the kids. You taking the joy out of taking you out on a date. You taking the joy out of me playing 2K. You're taking the joy out of everything, right? You're making it hard for me to maintain that same work ethic that I have. Somebody being like me, I'm at work 15 minutes early. I'll fuck around and leave work an hour late just because I'm trying to get some OT this week. That's just the type of build that I'm on. And once I start feeling like you're not appreciating it, man, I don't even feel like going to work today. I'm a fool around and call out. I don't even really feel like dealing with nothing. Like once you start feeling like you're not appreciated, it takes the joy and energy out of everything it is that you do, out of everything, even the things that you actually enjoy separately from that person or that relationship. You don't even want to do those kind of things anymore. And I think that's how that shows up.
Beans, I want to answer your question, man, before we go down another rabbit hole. The question you said earlier, that those people who are single are now coming together for marriage and the marriages are failing, right? I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, when you have a history of families who have been a long time since everybody's been married, people have forgotten how to be married. I'll give you an example. Let's say everybody who gets married is supposed to become candlestick makers. Okay, say for instance, 100 Watts comes from a family of butchers. His wife comes from a family of bakers, and they get together and she don't appreciate what he brings to the table because it doesn't look like something that she's been working on her whole life. So she doesn't value what he says. You see what I'm saying? So when they do come together and they try to do marriage, he doesn't know what it takes to be a candlestick maker. She doesn't know what it takes to be a candlestick maker, but being a candlestick maker is what's going to make this thing work. That's how marriage is. If you don't come from a family who's practiced being candlestick makers, When you get with somebody whose values don't line up with yours, then you don't appreciate each other. You don't know the rules of the game. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you an example. Say, for instance, when people get married, they say you get something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. If it's been somebody who ain't been married in a while, they don't tell you stuff like that. Those are little itty bitty pieces of tradition that gets left out of marriage over time. Sometimes people get married without going to counseling. Sometimes people get married without vetting these other people's family. They try to mix all this stuff up and then put it in a pot and call it candlestick when it's really not. You got a bunch of dough and meat in a bucket, and it don't look like candles. So I think that's the main reason why you see a whole lot of people who come from single parent families who go out there and they try marriage, and then it winds up failing because they come from a history of people not sticking together. And when it gets hard, they leave. But if you come from a bunch of people who have always been together, who have stayed married no matter what, they can have something to glean from and say, hey, look, when your marriage is on the rocks, how do you navigate that? And they have a reservoir to pull from. But if your reservoir that you pull from comes from a bunch of people who've always been single and people who've always been broken, who don't know how to stay together, then of course your marriage is going to fail because you don't have any information to draw from. So Beans, to speak to what you're saying, that is absolutely correct. And that's exactly what you're seeing today. You're seeing a bunch of people coming from broken spots, trying to try marriage, and it's not working because they don't have the experience to stay together.
If I may, and I definitely want to co-sign a lot of what you just said. Under Watts, you look like a regular size Cat Williams. Like if he was like man size, if Cat Williams grew. Anybody else see? You look like a regular size Cat Williams. I know Cat Williams. That's my nigga. You look like a regular size Cat Williams. Now you can't unsee it. If I could, I really would like to offer this free advice, and you can tell me to get the fuck on and stay out your business, worth $1 million or nothing. I would suggest that those things that you told to me, there are 2 letters that I want you and your wife to write and put in the mail. How you feeling? And you ain't got to sugarcoat it, but you ain't got to be funky. Write it in love. This is the girl you fell in love with. I want you to remember that. Write how you feeling in love. That way, nothing you could be misconstrued as. There's no subtext. There's no, unless you write snide or funky, it's not snide or funky. It's not misunderstood. It is exactly what you meant. And demand that she don't talk to you about that. That she do the same thing. Please, just write me how you feeling. And we gonna mail these at the same time. They're not gonna be a response to one another. The second letter is not a response. You keep that response to yourself. That second letter is about everything you love about that woman. And everything she love about you. Everything. The closest shit, the shit she might not even know. Not the shit you need, the shit you already have. And then y'all 2 get together and read each other's letters to each other naked. And then talk about your objections. I just want you to try that exercise, brother. It's hard to stay mad at your lady. Your lady that you love naked is hard to stay mad.
That's a fact, though. Like, that's an absolute fact, right? Because my ex she's a 42-year-old woman, right? So it's not like she has some 20-year-old's body. And I have a video of her butt naked, right? Standing here rolling the blunt.
Lord Jesus, bro. A woman body?
I said this. If it was any other chick's body, I'd have been like, ugh. But it's my woman, right? And it's not like it's because her body is messed up. It's just ain't a 20-year-old body no more. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, because a lot of guys say that, how can you be with the same girl? I'm like, that's the magic of it. The magic is that it's the same girl. That's what makes it magical. It's like, damn, it's still her. After all this time, I'm still with her. This is magical. But I think that was a great exercise that you mentioned. I want to throw this question to the panel, right? One thing from everybody, though, right? One, and I'm not projecting here, but I believe that one of the things that's lacking amongst men, and I'm not even just talking about black men right now. I think one of the things that's lacking amongst men, regardless of the fact that the women make us feel like we're not good enough, right? I think a lot of times we internalize that and we don't actually think we're good enough. I think it's a lot of men walking around here without the ability or the actual steps to self-love.
I agree with that.
They don't know how to love themselves. They don't know what that's like. Their being and their purpose is built into loving, providing, protecting, things like that. And if they don't have anybody to give that to, then they feel worthless. And I think that's I think that's probably one of the biggest reasons why that self-deletion number is higher for us than it is for the women, because they always had a purpose, be a woman. Right? I'm a woman. I got a purpose. It is what it is. But I want to start with Ferg because he's our residential light-skinned guy, even though I know Lit is light. But Lit is really a black guy trapped in a light-skinned body.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He like one of the
like Sinbad.
guys.
Like Sinbad.
Right, exactly. Ferg is our residential, never had a problem with women. Like, exactly, look at him. You know what I'm saying? Looking like the light-skinned version of Martin Luther King. I had a whole bunch of women, right? But I'm saying this. One thing from everybody that men can add to their arsenal of learning how to self-love. And I'm going to start off by saying bathing regularly.
Wow. Okay. Why don't you put it down? Put your arm.
It's a bigger problem than y'all might think. And
no, I already know.
I'll give you an example. You've heard rappers say in the song, they try to make it sound cool. I went 3 days with the same clothes on because they was trapping and hustling. No, fam. That's still a problem, regardless of how you put it, right?
Okay. So, I'm gonna take your word. I'm gonna take your word for it. That isn't in any of my hip hop, but I'll take it.
Believe me, it's there.
I believe.
Yeah, but yeah, I want to start with Ferg, and then from there it's open.
You know, I've had these conversations, man. You know, I could just say 2008. It's about the same time, man. I was walking into high schools in Chicago, man. Again, man, a lot of these messaging beings, and that's why somebody already alluded to it earlier, man. You're at the wise man's table now. Mm-hmm. You're at the wise man's table because you are the bridge that understands all of those disconnects. And a lot of the disconnect that I hear and see from brothers 10, 15, 20 years younger than me, y'all didn't get most of y'all messaging from fathers and righteous men in a sense.
Right.
Y'all sort of fell into this, you gonna be a grown man early, whether you know it or not. And you're not getting grown man tools, you're just getting survival tools. So here we are, 20 years in the game, right? Yep. And the women didn't get the survival tools either from fathers. They didn't get the right messages from fathers either. They heard, go out, use what your mama gave you. Mm-hmm. They go, you know what I'm saying? And a father wouldn't give those type of messages. So and again, there's always been single moms, man. So I understood single mothers of the day. They put the children first for the most part, but they also respected the child as they grew. That's why I always ask the question, when was the last time y'all saw y'all grandmamas and aunties' breasts and booties? These kids are coming out from day one, they seeing nakedness. They seeing the people who should be protecting them in Walmart shaking, they twerking. They seeing the people who supposed to be protecting them here. A fifth grader, they go into Walmart, somebody stuffing a pack of meat down their bag. So the messaging that young men haven't gotten is here today. But this is why I say you are at that age, right? You recognize it. You live through it. Now you're finding like, oh, I am worth something more. Just like a woman say, when they get 40, they wake up, you're waking up, and you can save half them dudes behind you. Like, nope, we ain't gonna move from a defeater's mindset. You understand your worth early, and the fact the way you charismatic with it, they have to hear the truth about it. And that's what I'm saying. Ain't no more Keith Sweat songs being played. Ain't no more of that. Keith Sweat, all them love songs are over. But the messaging has to be righteous, and you sort of, you know what I'm saying? That's why I say, get out your own way, bro. You right there. Just go do it so they can get the messaging. Like you say, you got a son. You want him to be successful, and you want him to bypass the BS that you experience. But the only way he can get that, you have to show him and tell him, and he'll have to learn some of it by the women that he interact with. So,
I got to piggyback. Anytime there's opportunity to kick Beans in the face about
No,
this.
we're not doing that. The question was about Beans. The question is about, we only got 20 minutes left in the show, y'all. So let's not make it about Beans. Let's make it about a messaging for the brothers who may watch this, the shorts that Black Man gonna make out of this. Let's give them something powerful to give to the viewers, man. What can we tell these brothers that's out here that's feeling like they not good enough? What can they do? We know somebody gonna tell them to go to the gym, Jeff. But I know Uncle Jeff got something deeper than that.
Absolutely.
Uncle Jeff got some spiritual stuff, right? Some quotes or something they can say to themselves, some stuff they can listen to or read before they go to bed. You know, that type of stuff, y'all.
Okay. Number one, those of you, and there's a call on you, young man. You need to find wise men just a little bit older than you that you can't out talk, like this one above me. See, still kick you in the teeth. What you need to do, all of you young brothers, I tell you right now, they are not perfect. He is not perfect. But I dare you to just go to YouTube and put in Farrakhan Savior's Day and just watch one. I'll tell you to watch the Hidden Colors series. I would tell you to watch A Great and Mighty Walk by Dr. John Henrik Clarke. I would tell you why I point you to Brother Reza Islam. Shout out to my dude. Find brothers. You ain't gotta necessarily take everything they say as gospel.
Right.
But you got to be able to find your light. You have to be in search of it. You can't just sit there in the dark. Read this book, Who Moved My Cheese? It's a great book about what to do in times of change. Your cheese, your abundance has been purposely kept from you, young brother. There has been things in place to make sure that your mistakes count way more. You have to find brothers who have overcome those mistakes that won't look down on you. Brothers that got out with plans to stay out. Brothers that got out and been out and successful. Shout out to Big Herc 916. Look that cat up. It's brothers. It's lights out here. But young brothers, you don't have much time to search for them. You don't. Please search for these lights. Find Beans. Find this show. Find it's brothers. We out here. Brother Ben X out here. Find these brothers. Brother Zoe Williams out here. There's people saying it. You got to come find it. I'll leave it there.
No doubt. Come on, y'all.
I'm gonna tell brothers something that don't require no work for you lazy motherfuckers. Because y'all don't like doing no fucking work no way. Hey, look, the mind is such a powerful tool, but so simple at the same time. It's so many men dealing with something that's going on in your head. I swear to you, if you find a nice, safe space, it could even be your ride on the way to work. If you're in a car by yourself, when you're in the shower by yourself, just find a nice, safe space. And I need you to take some of them thoughts that you got in your head and speak them out loud. Like once you hear some of the thoughts that you have going on in your head come out of your own mouth, sometimes you can hear the absurdity in the thoughts that you got going on inside of your own head. See, because again, like I think Beans, I think you said it. Men, we have this habit of internalizing things. So now you just held something inside, and because your mind is so powerful, your imagination is so vast and so great, you just created a deeper problem than it really needed to be. If you would just slow down and just hear yourself out loud, say what it is that's going on in your head. Sometimes you answer your own question when you say it out loud.
That's a fact.
You have no, and even something even greater, when you speak whatever it is that you're holding into your mind, even if you say it to yourself, that might make you feel so much better. Like you might have taken a whole lot of pressure off yourself just by saying something out loud. And it don't even have to be negative. It could be, I have a dream to make $1 million. Because some of y'all are scared to speak on your dreams too. The same way you're scared to speak on your fears, you're scared of speaking on what works for you. You're afraid of speaking about what it is that you actually want to accomplish in your life. You don't want to tell anybody what your vision is. Don't be afraid of it. Hey, when you're in the mirror and you're brushing your teeth, tell yourself where you see yourself 5 years from now. You need to hear yourself out of your own mouth. That's what I would tell you to do.
That's big. That's big. Just as an FYI, that was me. I had to start saying some things out loud just to realize how crazy I was treating myself. Go ahead, Lit.
RP.
Yeah, and listen, I just want to piggyback. A lot of times I say, I try to make sure, and I get a lot of flack for this, about we got to stop, blaming the past for where we are today, right? Like Beans didn't want me to go all the way back there. And I tell young guys, how do you see yourself in the future? I mean, how do you see because, I tell people, like, I'm 67. I'll be 60. Well, I don't even know my age. I'm 67. And I'm saying to myself, listen, the future's not mine. I mean, I'll be blessed if I have another 20 years. The future, the changes of the future is up to you guys. So how do you see yourself going forward? What are your deficits? And how do you, and with the internet and the powerful phone you have in your hand, you could just ask a question and say, well, listen, I got this kind of deficit. What should I do? If I don't have no mentors, it'll tell you something. It'll give you clues. I just tell people to move forward, as opposed to just being informed by the past. Don't forget about it. There's enough history for us to understand where we came from as Black people and what they've done to us and shit. But don't dwell back there, right? Because that's not going to help you. Well, that'll help you with the information, but what are you going to do in the future to change it? You want intact families? Well, how do I step in the future? You want to be married? Well, what do you need to do to find the kind of wife you want to have? You might not find her. See, now, a lot of times we tell people that it's not a good move unless it's successful. Sometimes you're going to fail. Sometimes you're going to sell, but the real issue is that you moved. You move forward. And sometimes you don't have the answers, but taking a step forward to where you want to go, a lot of times the answers come towards you because you're moving in a direction. So I just tell people, for the young folks, the future is yours. You got to help shape it. If you're a Z or millennials, the Z's and the A's, the alphas coming after them, the old, like somebody told me, all you old guys are going to die off. That's true. Whatever we did, bad, good, and indifferent, that shit's coming to an end in the next 20 years. We're never going to have another 80-year-old president. Probably never. The one we got now is that, whether you like him or not. We're not gonna put another 80-year-old fucking guy in the office no more. Not me, and none of you guys will either. You'll be crazy to do that. So who's gonna be the leaders of the future, not only politically, but socially and all that kind of stuff? And it's up to y'all to kind of shape that. And that's what I'm saying. You know what? I can only tell you what my experiences are, but I can't tell you how to shape the future, because in another 20 years, I'm not going to be here.
Yeah, no, first, don't change it up. First, you said you'd be blessed if you get it. So don't say you won't get it now.
Well, he can talk for himself. I'm living the 200.
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, I hear you. I'm not worried about all that kind of stuff. I mean, I just see the mortality in my future, but it'd be nice. But anyhow, but I hear what you're saying. I mean, I'm not speaking into if it's 40 days, if it's 40 years, I'll take it. But if I'm on a damn pipe and all that shit, I'd rather not. But anyhow, I mean, you know, you have to aspirate and all that other shit.
Oh yeah. Just cut my throat and just throw the bed off a cliff. Just and set the bed on fire on the way down.
No, but I do understand not speaking that shit into existence. Go ahead, 100. You say you like you.
I do think. I just want to say for the record, while we still live, I think that's a great conversation to have, especially generationally. You know, mortality, black men, mortality, all of that. Because we all have a different vision of, you know, how long we're gonna be here. Yeah. And there are some that are younger than me that have a different expectation of how long they're gonna be here. So I think that's just wanted to say that.
So let's do a real quick recap. I want to get
Jenny. Go ahead, Jenny.
I want to just do a real quick recap. So we got Farrakhan Savior's Day. We got the Hidden Color series, different things like that. We got Speak What You're Thinking Out Loud, right? Sometimes you need to say it out loud to either motivate yourself or find out how absurd you may be even being. You may be driving yourself crazy, right? And then we got our pain telling us, hey, listen, man, you have to move forward. I think that was really brilliant, man. You got to move forward. Sometimes the answers is in front of you, because if you like me, you're a person who lives in the past. I live in the past, which is part of the reason why I suffer so much torment, because I'm always reliving a lot of the trauma that I've been through, even though I try to find that peace from in the past as well. So I really don't listen to no new music. So those are the things that we got so far. So who's next? Those are good, man. Those are really good, man. I hope BM clips that up. This piece right here, clip that up, man. This whole piece.
So I would say that I guess one thing that I think that black men could do to help themselves is to try to find a purpose. And in the book that I'm listening to, The Boy Crisis, the author, he talks about that, how a lot of young men, they lack purpose. And, you know, me being me, I would say that the best thing to strive for in purpose is Christianity, is to have a good Christian life, because that's never something that you're going to age out of. You know, a lot of men, they see their purpose in their career, but you will eventually age out of your career. They see their purpose in you know, sports that they do, but you will age out of that. They might even see their purpose in their wife and their children, which is beautiful, but your wife might pass away and your children might move away, and you know, that is not lifelong, you know, depending. But you can always read your Bible, or you can listen to it, and you can always go to church, and you can always win souls, and you can always serve God. And that is something that you can do for the rest of your life, every single day, and it has eternal value. And so that's what I'm going to teach my son. And I think that that's I think that's the best purpose to have.
Is the book, the audio book that you listen to, is it by John Gray?
You said it's by John Gray?
Yeah, Warren Farrell.
Let me pull it up right now.
Because I got something in front of me. It says The Boy Crisis, Why Our Boys Are Struggling and What We Can Do About It. I just want to make sure it's the right one, because I'm going to promote all these things on my channel.
Yes, it's a very good book.
What's the name of it?
The Boy Crisis, Why Our Boys Are Struggling and What We Can Do About It.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's another one. And then of course, spirituality, man. Can't necessarily argue. Find a religion. One to find.
I have one little thing to add, if I could, Beans.
Absolutely. We got
it has something to do, and I know, don't make it about Beans. I'm not, but a lot of people are going through that thing you're talking about with living in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If it's not the worst thing in the world, the question is, what work are you doing back there?
Mm-hmm.
If you're just going back there to beat yourself up, well, that gets a little stupid.
Mm-hmm.
When you go back to the past, are you asking yourself what influenced this bad decision? What was in that time that influenced this bad decision? By the way, 100 Watts, you was flirting with some metaphysical time travel type fly ass shit earlier, but we kind of got out of the way. I just don't know what that's. This is my thoughts on the merry-go-round right now. It's being powered by this week. You living in the past, if you find that you do more work there, you go there less. If you're really doing, okay, prime example, I think I did this to you before. I'm not going to use you. Unfair. Ferg, which birthday as a young kid before 18 was your favorite?
Oh man, it was simple, man. I was born in February, so those handheld, I can show you better than I can tell you. Right? Give me 1 second, right?
Okay.
You know, this is I learned great hand-eye coordination. One of the first videos.
You don't know that. Look, man, you don't floss on me in here. Don't you floss on me. Okay, you gonna make me do it? Are you gonna make me go get it?
Hold on. Everybody had this one. I wanted the new one, the green one.
Oh yeah.
And my father he bought me the gift because I used to hold him responsible. I was like 12. I said, man, you need to buy me this because my mother always bought me stuff.
Right.
Listen, I had to go over and find out where he was to get my gift. He ain't bring it to me. I had to hunt him down, and it wasn't wrapped up. It wasn't nothing special. It was in a brown paper bag, and he gave me my game. That's how I received, but it was one of the favorite games.
Okay, thank you. Now, Ferg, hold it back up. Hold it back up, brother. You remember that green one vividly. I know which one, the one that came out after that one.
Yeah,
the buttons felt like Cadillacs. You can remember the brown bag vividly in your head, right?
Yeah.
You can remember that day that your pops gave you that bag, right?
Sure.
Do you remember what you had for lunch 4 days before that?
Of course not.
Of course not. Do you know why? Because only what you energize from the past exists.
For sure.
If you don't energize it, it doesn't exist. The game exists. The bag exists. The day exists. The happiness exists. Now you have to ask yourself, Beans and people who are thinking like Beans that live in the past, why am I energizing this particular event? And don't judge yourself for why you're energizing it. Find out why. Because I'm still trying to please my mama. Because I never got over getting beat up in front of that girl. Because that time that dude lied to me. And examine that. Examine that record that's playing. It's a record back there in the past that you, and that's the other thing I landed here, Beans. You don't get to predict the future, but every day you get to write the past. You are writing your past now. That's why you come here, nigga. For us. I can give you that so you can get it to dudes that won't listen to me. Through your music that you won't give me to get to Stevie Wonder. Directly. That I can get directly to him. I'm not going to bullshit in front of these people.
No, I think that is crazy. I like that. I gotta admit, I'm gonna clip this whole thing just for myself. You can remember it because you're energizing it. Man, I definitely try to learn from the stuff when I'm there. But like you say, man, man, for us boys who had traumatic relationships with our mothers, it's hard to get past that. I wanted to play that one video that I saw earlier for y'all, just so y'all could see how this brother was talking about how this relationship was with his mama. And guess what? It's 10 years later, and it still ain't fixed. So imagine what he living with and what he going through, So that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of brothers out here that had these things, but they need this coaching. And so I appreciate all the brothers who stepped in tonight for this panel, and I always appreciate Miss Jenny, and I appreciate your smile more than anything else. I don't understand how you're capable of doing it, but it's there for us, and I appreciate it. I'll be seeing all your little shorts, and everybody else shorts, they be looking like this, lit.
Right.
Everybody else shorts, the image catch them on some fucked up face shit. Shit always be like.
Listen, Beans, I got one more for you, man. For those young men who are watching, man, take time out to discover your genius. Everybody's not good at everything. You know what I mean? Until you expose yourself to a lot of things, you'll never know what you're actually excellent and born to do. Do lots of things. Just like when I grew up, I learned how to play music. I did math. I did science. I did all kind of stuff, sports. And I put it to you like this. If you learn a whole bunch of different stuff, no matter where you are, if they can drop you off anywhere in the world, you'll be able to survive because you've actually exposed yourself to multiple things and you don't have to worry about leaning on one thing for you to become a man. Remember, you're all sum total of everything that you've experienced and everything that you've learned. And I'm going to leave it at that. And before we go, I'm going to leave you guys with this. Remember this. If you want anything bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time and your peace and your sleep for it, and if all that your dream and scheme is about it, then life seems useless and worthless without it. And if you go out and sweat for it, fret for it, plan for it, lose all your terror of the opposition for it. And if you simply go after the thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty, famine, shall go, sickness or pain of body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want. If dogged and grim, you besiege and beset it. And with the help of Almighty God, you get it. Beans, that's it for us tonight, man. Thank you, brother. We're going to get up out of here. Thanks so much, y'all, for another edition of the Black Man Unfiltered Network. Peace, good evening, and good night.